There was a time when ownership meant something simple. You bought something and it was yours. A book, a movie, a piece of music, a car, a home. Once you paid for it, you controlled it. You could use it whenever you wanted, keep it as long as you wanted, and no one could take it away. That was the expectation. That was the system. But now something feels different, because more and more of what people use every day isn't actually owned, it's accessed. And most people don't even realize how much has already changed. At first, the shift felt small. Streaming replaced DVDs, music libraries became subscriptions, software stopped being something you bought once and became something you paid for every month. It was framed as convenience, unlimited access, lower upfront cost, always up to date. And for a while, it felt like a better deal. Why own one thing when you could access everything? But the shift didn't stop there. It expanded, slowly, into other parts of life. Cars became leases instead of purchases. Homes became rentals for longer periods of time. Even digital products that feel like purchases are often just licenses. Which means you don't actually own them in the way people used to. You're granted access under certain conditions for as long as the system allows. And that's where the difference starts to matter, because ownership and access aren't the same thing. When you own something, you control it. When you access something, you're relying on someone else's system to keep that access available. And those systems can change, prices can increase, terms can shift, access can be removed. And when that happens, there's very little you can do about it. What makes this shift harder to see is that it doesn't feel restrictive at first. In fact, it often feels easier. Subscriptions reduce upfront cost. Access removes responsibility. Everything becomes more flexible, more on demand, more convenient. But over time, something else begins to happen. The number of things you pay for starts to grow. One subscription becomes 5, then 10, then more. And instead of owning a few things outright, you're paying continuously for access to many things you never actually possess. Which means the moment you stop paying, everything connected to those systems can disappear at once. At the same time, control shifts, away from individuals and toward platforms. Companies decide pricing, they decide availability, they decide what stays and what goes. And because you don't own the underlying product, your ability to push back is limited. You're not holding something, you're participating in something. And when you step back, a pattern starts to emerge. Ownership isn't being removed overnight, it's being replaced gradually, system by system, category by category. Not because people demanded less ownership, but because access models create something else. Predictable revenue, continuous engagement, ongoing dependence. And that's where the real shift begins, because once access replaces ownership, the relationship changes. You're no longer a one-time buyer, you're an ongoing participant, a recurring user. And in that system, control doesn't sit with you the way it used to. So the question isn't just whether ownership is disappearing, it's whether the systems replacing it are quietly redefining what control looks like in everyday life. And if that shift continues, the real question becomes this: at what point does access stop feeling like convenience and start feeling like something you can't step away from? If you found this video interesting, consider subscribing and hitting the notification bell so you don't miss the deep dives we take into the systems shaping our world. And if you know other independent thinkers who want to understand what's really going on behind the headlines, share this video with them. Then help out the algorithm. Hit that like button. Ready for the next truth test? Let's go.